Howdy, Desert Boy here. Today I'm going to finally follow up on that snubby that I showed in my short videos here recently. And thing is, it's not a Smith & Wesson, it's not a Rock Island Armory M206 like a lot of people thought. In fact, if I had the music from Johnny Rivers and from the TV show of the early 60s, I'd be playing Secret Agent Man. If you haven't heard that song, you might want to look it up. It's a pretty interesting song about a show starring Patrick McGowan as a spy. But anyway, so let's talk about why that one there gets a reference to Secret Agent Man. And to do that, we'll be starting with one of my favorite guns, which I only have a couple of Colts. I had a chance to buy a Trooper, and boy, I wish I would have got that one too. But this is my Detective Special. As you can see, it's unloaded. It's 6 rounds, and we'll look at it a little closer. You know, nice gun. Rubber grips, got this nice notch. This is what they call a Force Series. It's about 1994 vintage. This has a 2-inch barrel, right? And 6 3/4 inches overall, about a 3.5-inch sight radius. .170 on the front, .135 on the back gutter for the sights. And, you know, it's about 21 ounces, made of steel. Nice shooting gun. But it has 6 rounds. That's probably a really nice thing about it. But what about the Agent thing? Well, this gun is not, you know, as a lot of people think, a Rock Island Armory with Colt stocks or grips on it. It is actually a Colt, and it's not a Cobra, so it's not one of the early snake guns, but it's from 1983, and it is a Colt Agent. Same dimensions as the other one, but only 14 ounces because it has an aluminum frame. That was one of the differences, right? So still 6 rounds. You still get 6 rounds out of it. That part's nice. Fits all the same holsters and everything. Thinking about, I don't usually do ankle holsters, but I might do that. I did buy a Nemesis pocket holster that I think, if I remember right, the LCR ones also fit the Colts because it's just the way that they're made. So I do have a pocket holster for it. So we'll look at these a little closer up. We'll also talk for a minute today about, and of course there was the Colt Agent, the Colt Cobra, and the Colt Detective Special. I found a couple of articles, and in the original pricing back in the 60s, the first two, the Agent and the Cobra, because they were both like aluminum frames or alloys, $80.25 was what it showed in the ad for a price, and the Detective Special was $76.75, and it was the all steel model. I think the Cobra was 1 ounce heavier. It was 15 ounces instead of 14. So, not bad guns, nice guns. I have a DeSantis thumb brake holster here that I use for carrying my Detective Special and will for my Agent. I have a HKS, you can read this, I don't know, let's see, HKS DS speed loader, but I really like these Zeta6 K-Clips. And what it is, the K-frames and the D-frames of the Colt, the K-frames of the Smiths, they fit this, that speed loader fits this D-frame Colt. And they also have a K-Pak. This is a K-Pak 2, I believe, which gives you kind of a tactical reload option from Zeta6. So those are some things just to show you about these little snubbies. So let's just take a little bit closer look at them. So let's look at this one up close a little more. It's really hard to see, but it actually does say Agent on there. It's really hard. I have tried different ways to get that to show up in the camera, and it just doesn't show up that easily. I guess I could try turning on some light in here and see if that helps a little bit. I think you can just barely see that it says Agent on it. It's not real apparent, but once again, this gun is 14 ounces, you know. Nice looking gun. Six rounds, right? Decent trigger. Got the firing pin mounted on the hammer. And this is my Colt Detective Special, which I do really like as well. We've already checked these unloaded, of course. It has the rubberized grips versus these other grips, which are a little smaller. You can see the frames of them and everything are really about the same in dimensions, right? It's just this one's 14 ounces and this one's 21. This is a Detective Special, right? I noticed also the Agent doesn't have the little Colt here. I noticed that seems to be true on a lot of them. Now the Agent's an 83 model, excuse me, and this is a Detective Special. It's about a 1994 model. I hope to get it to the range here soon. We'll see how it shoots compared to the other one. I only shoot 38 Special in these guys. If you have questions about whether it can handle plus P, there is some information they had in the original manual, which I do have one of those. This one came with the manual and the box. It was a great deal. I talked to, I contact Colt if you had any questions about that. I just stick to 38 Special, these older guns. And there's plenty of ammunition that's, most of us use a lot of times these Hornady 110 grain 38 Specials around. They seem to work pretty well. And I know Federal makes some that are pretty decent as well. So Desert Boy just wanted to tell you and show you that this really was a Colt Agent. And one of the funny things that happened when I originally went to do this video, and I had a lot of struggles with trying to get it right, was I got it all done and I had my Ruger hat on. And I just said, man, I cannot do that to Colt. I love Colt much more than that. And so I realized I needed to do that video over. So Desert Boy always says, be safe out there, whatever you're doing. And bye now. I think you can just barely see that it says Agent up here. This is the only gun I have where it's just like the hardest thing to show which model it is. Anyway, just a little addendum there. Be safe out there, whatever you're doing. Bye now.